Unfortunately, this small Japanese pufferfish is dull, almost to the point of invisibility. But to compensate, he is probably nature's greatest artist. To grab a female's attention, he creates something that almost defies belief. His only tools are his fins. In his head, a plan of mathematical perfection. He ploughs the sand, breaking it up into the finest of particles. These shells aren't just rubbish to be removed. He uses them to decorate the ridges of his construction. He can't rest for more than a moment, but must work 24 hours a day for a week, or the current will destroy his creation. A final tidy up, and his masterpiece is complete. Nowhere else in nature does an animal construct something as complex and perfect as this. If this doesn't get him noticed, nothing will.
Cone snails are striking in more ways than one. They lurk in the sand around coral reefs, and wait till you see what's under the hood. That pretty veneer is hiding an impressive array of tools and weapons. A cone snail's breathing tube, called a siphon, is actually more like a sheet of muscle rolled into a snorkel. Besides drawing water to gills deep in its shell, the siphon also can pick up the scent of unsuspecting prey. That's when the cone snail goes spearfishing. Its extendable proboscis is packing a concealed weapon, a tiny, hollow harpoon made of chitin, the same tough stuff in a lobster shell. And the end of the proboscis is tricked out with receptors, taste buds, that help it close in on its target. When it strikes, the snail's pace jumps to light speed. The embedded harpoon doubles as a hypodermic needle to inject the victim with paralyzing venom. As it reels in the catch, the cone snail uses another covert tool called a rostrum. It opens up to swallow the fish whole. Some cone snails hunt more familiar prey, other snails. The smaller snail digs down to hide its shell opening. The predator looks for a way in. When it finds it, the hunter hits its prey with more than one shot of venom. A lot is going on in the fifth of a second before the snail fires that harpoon. So let's rewind and break it down. First, the proboscis flexes as the muscles inside prepare for the strike. Then, the venom floods into the proboscis, but stops just short of the harpoon. A round muscle holds the lethal fluid in check like a kink in a hose, building even more pressure. Then, everything blows and propels the venom into the harpoon into the prey. What has scientists interested in cone snails is that their venom varies not only from species to species, but also from individual to individual, and even from shot to shot. In fact, they seem to mix their venom cocktail on the fly, from thousands of unique ingredients, each with its own purpose. All this variety means a world of new drugs could lie under that shell. Novel ways to treat things like chronic pain, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. Most cone snail strikes hurt as much as a bee sting. A few can kill you, though, like this geography cup. It has the most venomous sting in the world. Here's a tip. Don't go gathering these shells when you're snorkeling in Australia.
If you think there's something romantic about fireflies glowing on a warm summer night, you'd be right. But what you don't see is the dark side of this luminous display. Firefly flashes are a secret code, a language of light. The light comes from a masterful bit of chemistry, a bioluminescent reaction that generates light but no heat. So, what are they saying? Well, males on the wing are advertising themselves to females with a bit of sexy skywriting. Take the common eastern firefly. His signature move? A fishhook-shaped maneuver, which is why his species is sometimes called the Big Dipper. Her reply is more subtle, a single slow pulse from her heart-shaped lantern. Our Big Dipper comes bearing a nuptial gift, a present of more than 200 assorted nutrients, kind of like a box of chocolates. Here's the handoff. Some are lucibuphagins, defensive chemicals fireflies secrete to ward off predators like spiders and birds. These defensive chemicals may help protect her. Firefly codes are so reliable that anyone can speak the language. But we're not the only code breakers listening in. Meet Photurus. She's also a firefly, a larger, stronger one than the Big Dippers. But she has a weakness. Her species can't make its own lucibuphagins. They have fewer defenses against predators. So she sets a trap to get some. She mimics the glow of other firefly females, luring in the males of that species. When Mr. Big Dipper shows up with his chemical gift, she moves in, sucks up those defensive chemicals that she desperately needs, then makes a meal of the rest of him. Most fireflies don't even eat during the few weeks they spend as adults. But he's not totally defenseless. If she's not quick enough, he can secrete a gooey compound that sticks in her jaw and lets him escape. Another gift from the master chemist.